Getting set for the return of the NHL. The day after a tentative deal was reached, clubs, players, and fans are gearing up. We have team coverage for you tonight. Douglas Gelevan has the latest from both the Habs organization and the players. And Leah Hendry spoke with fans and businesses today. First, we go to Doug Gelevan at the Habs practice arena in Brossard. And Doug, the team just finished a news conference about the deal. What did they have to say?
Well, Deborah, Habs owner Jeff Molson choosing his words very carefully. Of course, this was not a pleasant experience for anyone involved, especially the fans. I had an opportunity to ask him during that press conference if he planned on doing something concrete to offer an olive branch to fans, and exactly how much money did the team lose.
The employees at the Bell Center were working 4-day weeks, and they weren't happy, and they were losers. We didn't get to fill the Bell Center with our loyal fans. The bars and the restaurants around the community were empty on Tuesday and Saturday night. The players weren't playing. I think it's a situation where there are no winners.
And Doug, you also spoke with several Habs players today.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. The relief was evident on their faces when they were on practicing today. The lockout is over, and maybe lost in all of this is what the team is going to look like next season. Got a chance to talk to the players about that today, and you do know, Deborah, that there were a lot of changes in this offseason. We will see a very different Montreal Canadiens team this year.
The intensity picks up as soon as the focus is there, and for the last 3 months, it's hard to focus when you don't have an end in sight. You don't know when the end zone is going to be there. Now we know. It's time to crank it up a notch.
The NHL season will start in less than 2 weeks, and the Habs have plenty to improve on from last year's dismal 15th place finish.
Here we go. It's time to go.
The new face, Brandon Prust, is at the center of management's plan to ice a more physical team.
I'm here for a reason, and I know those reasons, so I'm going to stick with what got me here today.
He's not the only one. Francis Bouillon and Colby Armstrong were also brought in to throw the body around, but if the team is going to improve and make it back to the playoffs, analysts say rookies might be the key, not free agents.
A big X factor will be whether or not Alex Galchenyuk, the team's third overall pick in last year's draft, will make the team. I believe he will, which should be a game-breaker style player added to the lineup of the Montreal Canadiens.
Odds makers aren't giving the Habs much of a chance. Right now, they're a long shot to win the Stanley Cup way back at 40-1, but some believe the shortened season could level the playing field.
That will provide an anything-can-happen kind of scenario.
I don't think it benefits anybody. I think at the end of the day, it's basically a sprint right to the end, and the biggest difference is all the points count now.
The compacted shortened season will also put a physical strain on the players. Some have been keeping in shape overseas, but the jury is out if those extra games will help those players.
There's two sides to that. People feel like they'll be in shape, but maybe they'll slow down as the season goes on.
And aside from the new faces, the number one priority for General Manager Marc Bergevin will be to sign restricted free agent PK Subban to a new deal. Right now, he doesn't have a deal, so even as the players start training in the facility, it's unlikely that PK will join the team for training camp unless he gets that new deal signed. Deborah.
All right, thanks, Doug. Still stuck on that 40-1 odds of winning the Cup. Thank you very much. The players are obviously psyched to get back onto the ice, but probably not as excited as business owners who weathered the hockey drought. Leah Hendry joins us now live. And Leah, so how are businesses taking the news?
Well, bars and restaurants really suffered during the lockout, particularly the ones downtown. And without hockey, there isn't a lot of foot traffic once the work crowd goes home. Rino Massaroni is relieved he'll soon have plenty of customers to cook for again. His tiny Italian restaurant relies on Habs fans to thrive. Without hockey, he lost 80% of his supper business.
Well, I was really very worried about because, you can end a few months, but after that, it's getting tough.
According to the Bar and Restaurant Association, many establishments near the Bell Centre were forced to lay off staff and cut hours to stay afloat. The end of the lockout means businesses can focus on recuperating.
What I'd like to ask the fans is I don't think we should boycott the players. I think we should applaud them on the first game, and we should ask them to give us the best spectacle. So this way, we forget the past and we look forward and make money.
But for some stores, the NHL agreement came too late. The Capsule Sportive had to close some of its branches, and this one in Eaton Centre will close tonight. Fans simply weren't interested in buying Habs merchandise, and some, like manager Hussein Samani, feel betrayed by the lockout.
All the fans are the losers here. The players, make millions of dollars. The owners make even more. And the fans are the ones that put the money in their pocket, and we're the ones that suffer.
Even season ticket holders understand the frustration.
I think people in general felt that the players were a bit greedy and the owners were a bit greedy. And I think that the fans were probably left out in the cold a little bit.
But most hockey lovers probably won't hold a grudge for very long.
I like watching them on TV a lot, and so that it's back on, it's going to be fun to keep watching it.
And it won't be long now until the Canadiens are back at Centre Ice.
Now, the problems created by the lockout go well beyond the area around the Bell Centre. I spoke to a cab driver who was on the verge of giving up his taxi, saying without hockey he couldn't afford the car's upkeep or gas. So it's pretty clear that Montreal really does revolve around hockey in the winter. Deborah.
You're right there. Thanks a lot, Leah Hendry.